Welcome once again to Global Reports here on Liberty Television in our Kaduna studios this week, as usual. Welcome to the show where we bring you the trending news from across Nigeria, across West Africa. And welcome if you're watching us on the Star Times network across Nigeria and on the Strong Decoder across West Africa. And also welcome to our viewers who are watching us live on YouTube and Facebook on our internet stream. Today in the studio, as usual, we have some guests. We have Professor Khalifa Dikwa, our good friend. Welcome, Prof.
Yes.
And then we have another guest, which is Mr. Usman Bilal. Thank you. So welcome, gentlemen, to the studio. Let us begin. Let's go international to start off with. This week, last week, the British governments have gone another stage in their separation from the European Union. And in fact, I've just had some hot news just a few minutes ago that the Prime Minister of England is now, that's Mrs. Theresa May, is now facing a challenge because they've, her ministers and her members of her party have submitted a document, a letter, challenging her, the leadership, so she will have to face a leadership challenge and may well lose. They've issued a letter of no confidence in her. So her political career is severely in the balance. Watch this short video from the UK news channels. Oh, so no, it is.
Most Prime Ministers lose votes and get things wrong, but yesterday the Prime Minister demeaned her office by unilaterally taking her discredited deal off the table and running away rather than facing the verdict of this House, which we should have been voting on today. There's nothing wrong with standing by your principles, but this deal is not one of principles, and apparently not even one she's prepared to stand by anyway. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, they didn't even have the decency to allow a vote, the government that is, to allow a vote on the withdrawing of business. She let down all MPs and the people we represent on both sides of this House, the overwhelming majority of whom know this deal is dead and want to go on with putting a realistic solution in place. This is no longer a functioning government, and the Prime Minister must admit her deal is dead. Her shambolic negotiations have ended in failure, and she no longer has the authority to negotiate for this country when she doesn't even have the authority of her own party. Speaker, I've tabled this motion today, which the member supported the tabling of. We have no confidence in this government. We need to do the appropriate thing at the appropriate time to have a motion of no confidence in order to get rid of this government.
So there we are. The British are shortly to leave the EU, either what they call a hard Brexit or a soft Brexit or whatever. I think the problem is
backstop, yes.
The backstop over Northern Ireland. The problem is the European Union are afraid when the British get out, they're going to have to face the people like the French and even the Italians. There's a lot of
very hard.
Yeah.
And they have to do it very hard. Otherwise, other members too may try it one day.
Yeah.
That is the strategy.
Not one day.
Yes, they will try it
very soon
because of the diktat. European Union is dictating certain things in terms of customs union borders, goods, and so on. So many things are involved. And then, apart from Brexit now, if Theresa May doesn't stand the vote of confidence, eventually the new one within Conservative will have to now pull down Article 50. That is, IA has to get rid of the referendum of, in terms of, say, no more Brexit. No more Brexit. Because politicians all over the world, they ought to have enlightened the people, the public, before throwing out something like that. Now the people have realized that without the union, these are the things that are likely to come. Jobs are in distress. So many companies have folded up, going out, and so on.
But the problem is in UK, from what I see, you know, I'm here, but I keep in touch. A lot of there's a lot of division. A lot of people say, "To hell with EU. We'll go out anyhow.
Yes, we'll go anyhow,
and we'll face whatever we need to face."
What Britain needs is to now sit down and plan for the next 10, 20 years, rather than waiting for March to pull out abruptly. That will not. In any case, a democracy, Western democracy, is in confusion, really confusion. You see,
look what's happening in France now.
In France now, the yellow jacket,
yellow jackets.
Something happening with, imagine the drama between Senator Schumer and Nancy.
Okay, in the USA, yes. That was today, this morning, I think. Or was it last night?
The same bruises in Italy, in terms of economy, Spain, and so on. Confusions all over. So again, even Nigerians, politicians are saying Nigerian people now should own up, since the president has refused to sign the electoral bill. What do they imply? Civil protest.
Civil disobedience.
So civil disobedience, if it happens, do they think we are going to allow them to go back?
What are you going to say, Mr. Usman?
On my own side, I think it's a lot of division for now. Mainly I think it's the generation now, for me, I think they don't favor what they call the Brexit.
The younger ones.
No, there is
younger
a lot.
Ones.
Younger ones.
It's like they don't favor
but
what they call
they're just so frustrated.
Yeah, they are not favoring the prime minister. But let me say, the older generation,
they have nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose. And to me, the European Union, I think, is more beneficial to the EU, more especially the
but it has to change. The EU has to change.
All over, all along, Britain has never given up. Imagine,
we never gave up. Britain never gave up
maintaining
the monetary union.
Britain is a very important member of the European Union.
They saw Britain.
I think Norway as well.
They saw Britain as the main pillar for Europe. Because they don't want pillar. Because of their currency.
Correct.
They feel that other lesser European countries will be a burden to them. So because of this, let's pull out. We enjoy our currency, our economy will flow.
And that is a mistake.
It's another mistake on which there will be a lot of influx in Britain while those people lose a lot of jobs. So let's rush to England to get more jobs.
And that's the problem. Instead of multilateralism, that is how America now isolated itself from the world under Donald Trump.
Exactly.
And anytime, even if there is a change of government, the allies, the real allies, are no longer going to trust America for leadership.
Of course.
And it is gone.
Of course.
Britain, if now Britain comes back, Britain is not going to have a strong say like before.
Yes.
Because it tried to pull out, it couldn't. And whatever it did is no longer negotiable.
And I see Britain also will suffer a lot of setback if they happens to pull out from the EU, because lots of companies will say, okay, we can no longer enjoy that benefit of
EU.
But still,
let's pull out.
Britain still comes under the World Trade Organization.
Exactly.
As do all nations.
But there are some things that favor some companies which will no longer be given.
Britain may resort to the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
With the
Well, that's
Commonwealth,
not a bad thing anyway.
The Commonwealth and
We've
so
said
on.
this for long.
Yes.
Yes, of course, but most of these members of the Commonwealth are not much strong economically, like we compare
Who
with
prevented them from being strong? The same Britain.
Same Britain, yeah, of course.
The same
Okay,
Britain.
let's move on.
Before we close on, because
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
we can talk about it afterwards. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I'm not happy with the way our politicians mess up our military. It's not good for us.
No, it's not. We just a short. Watch this video about the security in the northeast, which I know is a favorite
Yes.
for you two guys. You're very much involved in the northeast of Nigeria.
Again tonight with Nigeria's war against the Islamist militants amid reports that the brutal fighting has turned against the government, and as many as 100 soldiers have been killed by an Islamic State offshoot this week. Now Lucy Fielder reports.
As many as 100 Nigerian soldiers have been killed in the northeast of the country since Sunday, with the finger of blame pointed at an Islamic State offshoot. That information comes from 5 security sources, all speaking on condition of anonymity. Nigeria's northeast is a restive region where the government is battling Islamist militants, including Islamic State West Africa and Boko Haram. The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, who faces an election battle in February, has repeatedly claimed to have won the war against the extremist insurgents. That was refuted by an attack on Sunday in Metele, in Borno State. On Thursday, the Nigerian Senate suspended its session in honor of the 44 soldiers they said had died. 4 of the anonymous security sources said around 100 had died in the Metele incident alone, while the 5th said that 96 had died in Metele, but also in other attacks. Military spokesmen did not respond to repeated requests for comment.
Okay, this is, of course, the recent killing of Nigerian soldiers by some of the Boko Haram. Usman, you're based up in the northeast. You're involved in IDPs, correct?
Yeah, I'm part of
Yeah.
the suppliers of those IDP items in the northeast. And I'm sad about the news of the killings of our gallant Nigerian soldiers. Actually, it's pathetic. But for me, the situation in the northeast is like there are people trying to give out what we call fake news on the issue there. The government is trying their best, and the situation is, to me, is improving. Not like if you compare what we call the past regime, 2015 back, towards now, the situation has improved. Okay, yes, we have to suffer. Come again?
You sure? Has it?
Yes,
4 years?
The situation has
You
improved.
still haven't beaten Boko Haram?
It just have to happen. This is war. We will not hide under the carpet. We say, okay, we cannot, or the military will not suffer setback as far as insurgency is concerned. Let's take, for example, Afghanistan and Iraq. How many American troops lost their life? So it happens, but the government is.
But you
in
can't
control.
compare the what's going on between the Taliban and the
These are
Afghani
terrorists.
and
These
the-
are terrorists. They are they are terrorists like the Taliban. They got the same training with the Taliban and the ISIS.
But the numbers are less, surely.
Yes.
Yes, it's just a media propaganda for me.
The Boko Haram is just about tactics, doing it here to run away and do it somewhere
Yes,
else. They are
yes,
just,
it's
actually,
just a
they
hit
are
around.
bandits. More of bandits than real fighters. And with their own strategy all over the globe, be it Afghanistan, Somalia, Iraq, and so on. The closer any country is to election, the more attacks they
they start,
just to
yes.
disrupt them.
And my headache is that by rule, the soldiers, the military cannot say really that we have not got this thing from us. So, apart from 2015, where our military were able to disorganize them, they still remain disorganized.
Of course.
But they just hit and run.
It's hit and run.
So only the local government capitals that are safe. If you move out of it by 5 kilometers, anything can happen, including Maiduguri. That the Honorable Member House of Reps, Sani Zoro, was no stranger to Borno State. He was there in the Concord newspapers and so forth. But the releases are not coming from the Ministry of Finance. And I don't know why they don't release money. They don't buy the equipment our military need. And so on. These are people who are protecting us, who decided to do away with their own comfort to protect us, including them who are in Abuja and so on. What will happen now? What is happening exactly now? The truth is that our military can only repel because of what they have. Those guys from all over, after dismembering them, dislodging them from Iraq, from Libya, and so on, are gradually moving.
Yeah, there's an element of that.
So they can always come at us, and as bandits to levy people take, and to also kill. They don't see anything wrong in killing.
We do see that the problem seems to be isolated into the northeast.
Isolated incident.
We don't seem to have the
deadly
attacks into
the dreaded thing.
Abuja,
Boko Haram is just a name now.
It's just a name. They have no.
So many.
They have no stronghold again for me, because in the northeast we supplied food.
But what about the farmers? Are they able to farm their land in these areas?
Yes. For where? Yes. Places like Abadam and Marte, quite frankly, people cannot stay there. They are not there. And even in Kalabalge, ran the like I said, only the local government headquarters where the soldiers are and so on. But you should expect the overstretching.
For me, I went to the northeast. Even I went to Kondaga myself, on which we supplied yes, there are farm items there like hose, cutlass, and even fertilizers. Recently,
you were there in
yes,
Kondaga.
I was there myself.
And even Bama, even within only Bama City and Banki, the outside Bama and Banki, people are still.
This is just a hit and run. It's just a hit and run attack.
This is not a conventional war.
The military is in control.
Usman, that is why I say this is not a conventional war. The military needs funding in order to train their own to just checkmate this thing. This is a military that we had.
The situation has improved.
Uploaded
to me
all over the world. In our own in international peacekeeping and so on, but at home, I just want politicians to have a second thought.
Yes,
because the military are not their enemy.
It's all about politics when we talk about the military.
They let them equip the military very well with them, and the request should not go to just one side of the world. Let it be just a sent. Any country that can provide the wear or the equipment within 2-3 weeks is welcome, rather than expecting people within the ministry, within the presidency to dictate where to go, and then it doesn't come. Imagine Nigeria has already paid for 3 to Kano, and it may not come up to 2020. Why people are getting killed on daily basis.
But recently,
now we have the 2019 elections round the corner.
How can you hold the election without security?
How can they hold them?
How can you hold the election without security?
There is security in the northeast. People in Maiduguri can vote.
In Maiduguri,
in IDP
outside the affected areas for now is just between the borders within Chad, Niger. But when you go far out of Maiduguri, people are doing their farm business going on.
Yes.
I don't think
Osman,
it's
they levy them
a threat.
because
It's
they-
just a media.
Okay, you're supplying the IDPs. Do you see the IDPs on the increase, or are they
No.
getting less?
Well, that's the reason why we are supplying items like cutlass, hose, fertilizer to reduce that burden. Yes, we say okay, they now depend on giving them ration, food aid. Let them go to farm and do farming. So now the NGOs, let me say especially the WFP now are giving them.
Do they provide the seeds?
They give them seeds.
Yeah, okay.
Like rice, beans.
To farm, but
to
they
farm.
don't tamper with their farms.
Yes, they want to stop that, what we call giving them food.
Yeah, what about
Because
things like
it's-
irrigation and other inputs?
Irrigation. These are all luxuries that they never even had in the past.
yeah.
No,
They
for
never
now,
had it.
for
Apart
now, they
from
just
the
want to do
vicinity of the Lake Chad region and so on. And
Okay.
then finally, look at this scenario.
Finally, Prof,
it is-
'cause our time
yes,
is up.
It is our war. And
Yeah.
Nigeria has survived many conspiracy theories in the past. These ones we
There's
can
a lot.
survive it, but we have to back up, we have to support our armed forces.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
by instantly release it and so on, for them to purchase what they need in
Well,
order to protect
yeah.
us and so on.
This-
And
this-
it is not about politics.
This discussion won't end today.
Yeah, it will not.
Unfortunately, the time is yet again against us. So it's thank you to my guest, Professor Khalifa Dikwa and Malam Usman,
Thank you.
and thank you to the Liberty
What
TV
is the name
crew.
of your
This
organization?
is me, Arthur Brooks, signing off for another week.
Yeah,
Prof, can we close, please? Please take care of yourselves. Keep watching Liberty TV and keep watching us next week. So it's good night to you. It's not just about the individual news item, it's all about what's behind the news story. What went on before, now and after. We report today not from Kaduna, Nigeria, but from Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Slavery Museum in Liverpool. Dr. Benjamin.
No personal attack on candidates.
Okay, thank you very much. Ray TV Liverpool. I'm here with Chris Kerr, who is one of the team that runs this remarkable little station.
My background is that I'd spent quite a lot of time working for Bernardo Television as a reporter and producer, and I had lived in Liverpool for most of my life, and I've had a very strong interest in doing something in the way of more local television, more than the regional service which Bernardo and the BBC offer.
This is Arthur Brooks signing off from Liberty Global Reports, and have a very good week. Thank you, Saidu, for coming on the programme.
My pleasure.
And please check out our Facebook page.